Well, hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much, Steven Stiller and Mark Wilmot, for joining me today. Now, I gotta ask you guys, what made you want to get into filmmaking?
I wanted to be in film my whole life. When I was 4, I watched The Nightmare on Elm Street because I have bad parents. And I decided then, I told my parents I wanted to make movies. And I kind of did a whole bunch of other shit in between, but none of it really mattered. And I decided to stick with film. And for better or worse, I'm stuck with it.
Yeah. Okay. For me, like, I think when I was a kid, I saw, it was like a making of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it like broke down film. I was instantly fascinated with that. And then same with Jaws, even though I probably shouldn't have been watching that when I was 7 as well. So great parenting for me as well. Then I got into theater and I just felt kind of limited by what you could do visually in theaters. And then I moved on to film.
And speaking of roadblocks, what kind of roadblocks did you guys encounter trying to produce this feature film from?
Money?
Big question.
Money?
Yeah, money, trying to do something that's interesting, like, to the audience and to ourselves creatively with a limited budget, with a limited schedule. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was it, right? Like, a lot of us were filming Man in the High Castle at the time, like, as our day job. I'm ALM, we had PAs, our DOP was PA, our first AD was on the show. Like, we were all doing it. We're all doing that 5 days a week. And then on the weekends, you know, sometimes we're finishing on Friday night or Saturday morning at 2 in the morning, and everyone's up for 9 a.m. to get ready to film. That was a big struggle, but fortunately we had like the right pieces that could come together and make this thing happen for, you know, less than $10,000, which is crazy. So
Yeah, I definitely think exhaustion was one of the roadblocks.
Yeah,
Passion driven. What directors influenced you guys the most?
Like Alfonso Cuarón, Catherine Bigelow, people like that have like a very distinct vision, a good visual style that's not unrealistic, I think.
Okay. So not only are you director, actor, you're also producer and writer on this show. How did you and your writing partner, Mark over here, come up with the idea for this film?
I wanted to do something that was about guys. It's like the second coming of age is how we've been calling it. So you always have that one where people go from like teenage to manhood, or like the man finally grows up in his like early 20s or something. We want to do that one where you're like kind of past your prime, but you still haven't realized your potential. I think that was like, I guess, the inspiration for this.
We're all told when we're kids, like, these coming of age movies, and it's always like kids like getting out of high school, that's what it is, and like, oh, that's becoming an adult. And then you hit like 18, 19, you're like, no, it's not. I'm not an adult yet at all. Like, and then you're in your mid 20s and you're still not there, and then usually something else happens and you find it then, and that's where it kind of starts to shift a bit. So that was kind of
so me not reaching my potential is kind of what inspired this. That's where we get the idea from.
What was your favorite thing about the production of With Friends Like These?
It was really fun just like hanging out with that. I mean, we made this movie with our friends, like everyone on set, even the people we didn't know before we started this, like they're buddies now, and kind of went through it all together. And anytime that was just us kind of joking around, I thought it was great.
Steven, how about some questions for you now, more on the acting side of things. What kind of challenges did you stumble upon while you were trying to create the character of Jeff?
Time management. Seriously. Trying to come up with, like, in my head, the blocking for the scene as a director, and then as soon as I step away, like, trying to think of what Jeff is doing in the moment. Luckily, I see a lot of similarities between me and my character, so that became a little bit easier to do, I guess.
What was it like working with such a large cast in such a small, intimate space?
It's tough. It's tough to keep them quiet. It's like wrangling cats, because they would just go off on jokes and tangents and trying to get everybody to focus. They're really professional, but at times, like, you get a bunch of actors together, it could be mass chaos.
What characters do you think audiences will really connect to in this movie?
Jeez, I don't know.
Show 243 lines, it better be Jeff.
I would hope it was me, but that's probably just my ego talking. I don't know. Like, I think maybe Connor, like Trent, he's kind of like the everyman, and it was like so much fun. I think they'll connect with him the most. I think they'll hate Mike.
Yeah, I think Rob brings some stuff in too, because Rob's the kind of outsider of the group, and like, I think early on everyone kind of sees the movie through Rob's eyes. Yeah. And before you kind of join the group, so.
I think like I think they'll get a kick out of Liz, just because I think a lot of people can relate to having an overbearing sibling.
Yeah.
that kind of bullies you a little bit.
Thank you so much, Steve and Mark, for joining me today.
Thank you.